Hey everyone, factoring into today's video, it's JMA Tuesday today, not JMA Friday, because we're going to be having a look at the 3 monthly forecast from Japan. It's just updated overnight. It's going to be taking us from January through to March, so quite a big update. Also have a look at the CFS for the next 3 months as well, so a big one today. Hope you enjoy it. Now, before I get on with that, just to say about the ads, there's links to articles sitting underneath the web video here on my homepage at GazWebVids.com. Have a browse through the widget, and if there's any articles that you're interested in, just click through the links. You'll be able to go off and read those articles, and GazWebVids will get a revenue fee on the things that you're doing there, things you're going off to read. Also, there's green keyboard ads on some of the pages. If you right cursor over green keywords, they display ads, but if you click through the word, you go to advertise website, you support GazWebVids by doing that. There's yellow weather related ads on most pages as well, so click through those if there's anything there that you're interested in. And Gav Shop is still open for a few more days. I'll be keeping the link to Gav Shop till Christmas Eve, and that's a week tomorrow, of course. Yeah, if you've got any Christmas shopping, last minute Christmas shopping to do at Amazon, just click through the Amazon banners in Gav Shop, and it'll take your time on. You just do your shopping as normal, and at the same time, because you've gone from GazWebVids to Amazon, we get a revenue fee on the things that you're purchasing. It's been a huge success this year, so thanks very much for everybody that's got involved and done that. Now, we're going to start off with the JMA Northern Hemisphere view for the next 3 months, and I just want to say thanks so much to everybody that's emailed with suggestions about how I can flip these charts around so we can see the Northern Hemisphere from our side of the hemisphere, as opposed to being upside down as we normally are on these Japanese models. So thanks so much to everybody with their little suggestions and tips on how this can be done. I finally managed to do it, so we're going to be looking at the Northern Hemisphere from our side of the hemisphere for this. These are 500 millibar heights. This is the anomaly for January. Blue, as you know, always with these 500 millibar height anomalies extrapolates to low pressure, and yellow, orange is extrapolating to high pressure. What we see as the anomaly for January is that we've got this ridge through the central part of the Atlantic and going up towards Greenland. We've also got a ridge down to the south of the country. We've got this trough, quite a deep trough actually, sitting right over the top of the country, a trough of low pressure. The flow with that is going around the trough, something like that. So I think that does hold the potential, at least for some cooler conditions, to be coming into that trough at times. I wouldn't necessarily be running away with the idea that it's a severely cold pattern. The blocking isn't quite right for delivering severely cold conditions out of the pole for that, but it's a cool pattern, and there will be some cold conditions at times. I think there could be wintry conditions, particularly in the north, with that sort of scenario. We would more or less be on the cool side of a jet stream quite a bit through January, so a fairly cool, unsettled pattern being seen by the model as we go through into January. Now, moving through to February, you'll remember on last month's update, the Japanese did a flip for February. It developed a very cold-looking pattern for February with a lot of blocking over top of the pole. Actually, that blocking is still there. It's not quite as close to us as it was on the last update, but it's still sort of the idea. There's quite a bit of blocking right over top of the pole. This trough is still there over the British Isles, but actually it's elongating down in towards central parts of Europe. So again, this does hold the potential for colder conditions, I think, as we're moving through into February. Probably not quite as strong a signal as we had last month, but nevertheless, I think overall we would be bringing cold air down into this trough from the north and the northeast. The position of this ridging over top of the pole could allow for some very cold conditions to be moving down into that trough at times. With the trough, as I say, elongating through into central parts of Europe and into the Mediterranean, that does hold the potential for really putting in some cold temperatures, some cold conditions within that trough. So again, I think February holds out the prospect of being the coldest month of this winter from the Japanese update. It is a colder signal that than is the case as we move into January. Finally, having a look at March, and we see that for March things are reverting to more of a westerly pattern. For March, we've got below average heights appearing around Greenland, so an area of low pressure. This ridge is around the Azores as well. The jet stream reverting back to a westerly and running into the country. Now, there is one complicating factor, and that's this area of high pressure, these yellow curves up over Scandinavia. So as the jet stream runs in, it could do something like that and actually go around the ridge over Scandinavia. So that could allow the prospect for some easterly incursions at times, and it could be a battleground UK type month actually. Some easterly winds trying to come in from the east, bringing cold air out of the continent, but also the westerlies trying to come in off the Atlantic as well. So that could be a battleground type scenario for March. But I think overall the signal for March is probably for a milder month compared to February. February looks like, again, on this update being the month that could deliver quite a bit of cold weather. Now, have a look at the mid-latitude view, have a look at how the temperatures and precipitation pan out with this. So this is the British Isles just here. I'll just highlight where we are. We're in the very, very top right-hand corner of the chart as you look at it just over there. This is the 500 millibar high anomaly for January, and we've got, again, the low pressure. Actually, this is for March. This is one for March. We've got the ridge down across the south of the country. We've got the trough up to the north, and we're bringing that westerly through into the country. Now, as I say, there is also a ridge lurking up to the northeast over Scandinavia. You can't see that, but overall that is a mild signal, or a mildish signal for March. So the temperature anomaly for March is coming out. Let's have a look at it. There we go. The temperature anomaly for March coming out a little bit above average, a little bit warmer than average. The rainfall anomaly is coming out for March near normal, a little bit wetter out in the west, with those westerlies coming in nearer normal further east. But it's a fairly mild signal, actually, that for March. Let's have a look at January. This is where I should have started. I got a bit mixed up with the charts when I was starting off, I think. So we'll go back to January, where we should have started. And this is the 500 millibar high anomaly for January. Obviously, we've got that trough sitting there right over the top of the country, those blue curves. It does extend a little bit to the east. You will be allowing some cooler conditions to come into that trough at times. The temperature anomaly is a little bit above average for most parts of the country, a little bit below out to west, but actually around normal to a little bit above average generally. I think it could be a bit cooler than that, really, but close to average, that sort of thing, is what I would suspect from that sort of anomaly. But wind arrows are generally coming from a northwesterly type direction. Not sure you can really make that out, but the average wind direction is generally from a northwesterly type direction, and the rainfall anomaly with a trough over country, as you would expect, it is coming out wetter than average. So coolish, unsettled month for January. And then finally having a look at February, and we can see that for February the temperature anomaly with that trough of low pressure extending through the country and to the east, and you can't see the blockiness to the north a bit, of course, on these charts, but the temperature anomaly for February is coming out cooler than average. You're seeing colder than average month there for most parts of the country. The general wind flow for February, don't think you can really make this out, but it's generally northerly to northeasterly, so that's the reason that we're looking at a colder than average month for February. And it's the same signal that we had last month for February to be the cold month of this winter. The rainfall anomaly, precipitation anomaly, is still a bit wetter than average, and of course with a colder month that would give the prospect of snow perhaps becoming more to the fore, really, with rainfall anomalies coming out above average and cold temperatures. You would have the prospect of more in way of snow coming through. So a very interesting update there from Japan. And then, of course, as we just saw, as we go through to March, it gets a bit milder. But a very interesting update, and we've still got that signal from the model that February is the month to be watching out for if you want cold conditions. Have a look at the 500 millibar heights from the CFS model. This is the anomaly for this month, for December. We've got the ridge to the south. The trough is to the north. Pretty good representation, really, of the pattern that's going on. The jet stream coming through like that. It's a mixed month. Most unsettled up to the northwest, driest down to the south and the southeast, and not overly cold. Temperatures near normal. As we go through to the second month, this is for January, we find that the trough of low pressure is out in the Atlantic, just there, those blue curves, but we've got this blocking up to the northeast of the country. So it means that at times we've got westerlies coming in with that trough, but at times we have got northeasterlies threatening with the ridge up to the northeast of the country. So a bit of a battle going on as we're moving through into January. And then finally we get through to February, and look at this. It's a very similar signal to what we have from the Japanese model. We've got the trough of low pressure around and elongating to the south of the country. We've got the blocking up to the north, and again this is the signal for the coldest month of the winter. This is the signal for the coldest month of the winter. The winds again could easily go into the northeast with that, bringing that cold air in. These are anomalies from the website weatherweb.net, by the way. You can find a link to Weather on my links page, and these change on a day-by-day basis. But very interesting that both the Japanese and the CFS seem to be in agreement this morning that February is the month to watch out for if you want a colder than average month, a wintry month. The temperature, maximum temperatures for January from the CFS, quite interesting. We have a bit of a cold snap early in the month. This is the anomaly up to the weekend in the 5th of January, and temperatures are barely above freezing, but then they do recover, and January isn't overly cold. There's some cold weather threatening at times, but not overly cold really for January. But we go through to February, and this is the temperature anomaly, maximum temperature anomaly ending the week. I should say it's the mean maximum temperatures for the week ending the 9th of February, and we come out very close to freezing for that week, a really cold week, and it gets even colder as we go through to the next week. These are the mean maximum temperatures for the week ending the 16th of February, and again barely above freezing. That's 2 weeks through February of really cold weather. Look how cold it is on the continent, a big freeze engulfing most parts of Europe as well, with maximum temperatures down in Germany. You can see there maximum temperatures of -7, -8, really severely cold conditions through the middle of February from this morning's CFS model. Now those charts do change day by day at WeatherWeb, but they're always worth keeping an eye on, because the idea is that you should be able to see trends and patterns emerging as you go back day by day and check them. But it's very interesting that both the CFS and the Japanese appear to be picking up on the same signal really, which is that things are quite mixed for December and January. Not overly cold, but some colder snaps in January. But we get through to February, and that's the one that holds the greatest potential to turning things cold. And this is in line with the Gas Weather's winter forecast as well, which was for February to be the one that could deliver us some cold conditions. So it appears that that idea is still there within the modelling. We'll have to see how it works out, of course. This is all highly speculative and just for fun, really. But it's interesting that both the Japanese and the American models are in agreement about February being the one that could deliver us some cold and snowy conditions. That's it for now. Hope you found the video interesting. I'll have a look at the Christmas period, do a Christmas update on the events page this evening, so come back for that. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.